Hello and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm Cassie. If it's not, thanks for always tuning into my videos. Today we're going over my 5-star prediction. I've been putting this off because essentially I have a video on my channel I did earlier, like last year, December-ish, where I picked the 10 series starts I wanted to read next year and the 10 sequels I wanted to read next year, so this year. And all of those were essentially 5-star predictions. So I didn't want to do this, but I do know that I've gotten a lot bigger on the channel since then, and not a lot of people have seen those videos, so I figured why not do it? And it'll be a little bit different because I actually have read some of those since then, and there's some new predictions here for me. First one I feel like will be a shocker to no one is Jade City by Fonda Lee. I have been putting off reading this book forever because I just think it's gonna murder me. Like, I think reading the series I am going to cry because it's just gonna be so good. I know that this follows two like mafia ruling families, and there's a new drug on the scene that can make, called Jade, that people can like harness different abilities with. I don't know. Sounds really cool. People say it's really like dark and grim, because I love my morally gray characters and like all of that I'm gonna love this. And so this is easily a 5-star prediction. I'm going to be very let down if it's not 5 stars. I've been putting it off forever, and yeah, I'm just really excited for this one. A newer 5-star prediction is Of Darkness and Light by Ryan K. Hill. So this is book 2 of the Bound and Broken series. I read book 1, only gave it 3 stars, and I was very let down and disappointed. And then I read the prequel novella, which I heard was recommended to read after the first one, so that's what I did. And I gave that one 5 stars, and so I'm very hopeful that this one will be 5 stars, because my biggest issue with the first one was the writing style. And The Fall did not have that writing style problem, so I'm very, very much hoping that in this one I get that writing style I loved in The Fall. And I mean, I'm so excited to see where this series goes and the world, because the world and magic is quite cool. And I mean, there's dragons and there's like dragon bonded and riders and everything I love, so I'm really, really hoping and predicting this will be 5 stars. The first book in the series follows our main character who stumbles across a bit of a secret and then gets kind of thrown into a war. And he's not the chosen one because he was never expected to be there, but like they didn't think anyone like him would ever exist again, but he does, and here we are. Yeah, just a good world of dragons and magic and mages and lots of classic fantasy love in this one. Probably another one that is of no surprise to anyone is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I loved Elantris. Elantris has 5 stars. Honestly, I don't know a Sanderson novel that hasn't got 5 stars. I don't remember. One of the Mistborn trilogy got 5 stars from me, although the Next Era, the first book, did not get 5 stars, but most of Sanderson gets 5 stars from me. I love Sanderson's writing. It's just so comfortable for me to read, but his standalone work has been my favorite so far. I love Elantris, and so I'm hoping to love Warbreaker just as much, if not more. Warbreaker, I think, follows 2 girls. One gets married off to a king, and there's a magical system of like colors, which sounds really cool. A power based on an essence known as breath, which can only be collected 1 unit at a time from individual people, but it's worth it. By using breath and drawing upon the color in everyday objects, all manners of miracles and mischief can be performed, which sounds cool. Brandon Sanderson's worlds and magic systems are just so unique and intriguing, and I think that's what gets 5 stars for me most of the time, so I'm really, really excited for this one and hoping it gets 5 stars. I'm going out on a bit of a limb here to say that I think The Bladed Faith by David Douglas will be 5 stars for me. I don't know that much about this book. It's one of my most anticipated for the year, and I've never read a David Douglas book before. This will be my introduction to him, but I know Erin loved this, and I typically trust the books she loves, and the concept behind it sounds so cool, with this prince who his country was invaded and his god slain, his parents slain, and then he is taken as a political prisoner, and he finally gets a chance to like escape and lead a rebellion. And I don't know, I'm very intrigued and I trust Erin, so I think this will be 5 stars. This is a 5-star prediction for sure. And I have 2 copies, so I hope I love it, because Orbit was nice enough to give me a finished copy and an ARC. And I still haven't read it. How rude of me. Another 5-star prediction for me is Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. I've heard nothing but good things about this book, and it's like a band, like the boys are back in town, a band of like men, mercenaries that get together and they have to go on a mission, I believe. They're past their glory days and it's time to get them back together. And I don't know, it just sounds like there's going to be a lot of humor in this, but also a good time. I don't always have the best of luck with books that are solely promoted with like their humor, but I know Becca, I think, gave it a 4 stars. I think I could be making things up right now. And I don't know, I just think Steph also loved this one. I could be making things up, but I have a good feeling about this one and I think it's going to be 5 stars. Some sequels that I think will be 5 stars. I have heard that this series gets better with each book. It's just so chunky that it scares me so much. Legacy of Ash only got 4 stars from me and I'm hoping with the second one it will do better. I actually know that if I'm looking historically, I don't know why I'm using that term, at my ratings, often the first book in a series only gets 4 stars and the second one and third ones will get higher ratings, although often the last book in a series gets the worst rating because I don't like endings and I don't like things being finished. So it just kind of like, the fact that it's over just like tears me apart a little bit, but I have a feeling this one will be very, very good. I'm invested in the characters. I know how the politics and the magic are working now. I need to read this. Need to read it. It's just so chunky. The first book in the series, Legacy of Ash, follows our 3 protagonists, 2 of which are political prisoners of war, and 1 of which is the person that killed their mom in the last rebellion. Killed the political prisoner's mom. Sorry if that didn't make sense. And the 3 of them now have to like work together to save their world, their empire, from the coming in empire and the gods. And it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, hoping this one will be 5 stars. Honestly, I don't even have to hope here. I know that these will be 5 stars for me. This is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th books in the... Why can I never remember the name of this trilogy? This quartet. It's not even a trilogy. The Banished Lands. What the heck is this called? The Faithful and the Fallen series. This is the 3rd, 4th, and the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th book in the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Quinn. Malice is the best book I read this year. I know all 3 of these will be 5 stars. There's no doubt in my mind that these will be 5 stars. Can't even call them predictions because I could literally rate them on Goodreads 5 stars right now and be 100% confident with that. Yes, I am. Watch me eat my words when I read them, but here I am, making big promises. If you don't know what Malice is about, go watch my booktube bestie because I don't really want to give a synopsis right now, but essentially you're following a prophecy and there's a prophecy for a good guy and a bad guy and you're following all these characters and you don't know which one's the good guy and which one's the bad guy and you're just watching the prophecy like unfold, but like the 2 guys could like easily be interchangeable. And then we have The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. I honestly don't know much about this. I just think I'm gonna love it. There's no reason for me to give this a prediction to be 5 stars, but something about the way people talk about this book just makes me think it's gonna be 5 stars. The meaning of justice changes in a revolution sounds really good, and I don't know, I'm just very intrigued by this, and I think it's gonna be 5 stars. I don't even really know the synopsis of it, so I just am here to say that I think this will be 5 stars. Don't come at me that I have no idea why and don't know anything about it, but I'm very excited to read the Dandelion Dynasty. 5 stars. Hopefully. Another one I think is going to be 5 stars is The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. I, again, know literally nothing about this book. I've heard it compared to Brandon Sanderson. I know Mel really enjoyed it. I don't think she gave it 5 stars. I have high hopes for that one. It's a chunker, but I tend to really get invested in very chunky books, and I think I'm just going to love it. And again, please don't come at me because I don't know why I think I'm going to like it, but here we are. I think I'm really gonna like it. And the Sword of Kaidan I also think will be a 5-star prediction for me. I think it's gonna get 5 stars. It's political, it's more unique than other ones. I know there's a lot of family ties in it. I think that there's a lot of buzzwords happening in Sword of Kaidan that I'm going to love, but I couldn't tell you a synopsis. I'm sorry, this video just went downhill as I learned that I don't know synopsis of books that I think I'm going to love, and I'm probably gonna keep it that way. So that one will probably be 5 stars. And then the last one, I'm kind of cheating. I think The Wheel of Time will get a 5-star in it. I'm not saying The Great Hunt will be 5 stars, but something about this book series, I think I'm going to eventually love it. And I will give it 5 stars at some point in the future. But I feel like that's cheating because, of course, I'm hopefully going to give a 14 book series 5 stars at some point. Otherwise, why did I read it? But here we are. Wheel of Time is the last prediction on this. And hopefully it will be the Great Hunt, but I doubt it'll be the Great Hunt that gets 5 stars, considering the first one got 3 stars. There we have it. Those are my current 5-star predictions. There's not a lot because I'm kind of harsh and I don't give it 5 stars very often. And it's really hard for me to pick up a book and say, I think this will be 5 stars, because most of the time I think it's going to be a 3 or a 4. But here we are. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to leave me an emoji just to say you were here, you can leave me a star emoji, like leave me some stars, some shooting stars. And if you'd like to connect with me on other platforms, my Bookstagram, my Book Twitter, my Goodreads, and my Patreon are all linked in the description bar below. Have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day.